Welcome to the Sleepy G Show. I'm your host for your most. My name is Gomez, and tonight, like every night that we have here at the Sleepy G Show, I have a special guest. I like to introduce your true awesome rock and roller, Kurt Deimer. Kurt, how you doing today, buddy?
What's up, man? What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Good, good. Now, I got to hear some of the songs, man, not too long ago, and let me tell you, amazing. I got to
Oh,
see
thank
the YouTube video. You got this awesome presence that you have around you. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if everyone's told you, but it reminds me of this TV show. Oh shit. Guy wears the bandana in his head, he does cars, does like the cars and stuff. And just seeing one of your videos, I'm like, wow, that reminds me of that guy who does those cars in Vegas and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know if someone ever said that to you.
Yeah, I think well, a lot of people think I'm the Undertaker when they see me, but I'm not nearly as big as the Undertaker. But
uh,
it's kind of crazy, yeah. But it's no, it's I'm just me, man. I'm just man of the people, and I like to share my positivity with people and encourage people to work hard and take care of each other and be kind because the world's a cruel place. So we're getting the message out, man.
and that's one thing I love what you're doing is getting a message out. It's like me. I love spreading positivity, raise awareness. You know what I mean? I respect that full heartedly because you know what? That's what we're missing in the world now, ever since like
Yeah,
after COVID hit us pretty hard.
yeah,
I mean, the positivity went down, I'm gonna say the shit. You know what I mean? Everything was negative, nothing was, the positivity is when I busted my knee and I became a podcaster all of a sudden, you know what I mean? And
right.
and for me it's
But
like,
you busted your knee and you didn't just sit around feeling sorry for yourself. You decided to do something you probably always wanted to do, and it gave you that opportunity to do that, and you seized it, you know?
yeah, I seized the moment with my partner when we had our first show together. And then we didn't break up, but we just had conflict schedules because he had older kids, I had younger kids.
Right.
So with the older kids he had sports to do at night, and the younger kids I was putting them to bed, so it's kind of hard. But a year and a half later, here I am doing very well, and hearing from him how proud he is of me, how I've shined, means a lot to me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's something I like to spread, the positivity. You know, it's not the best quote I ever gotten from him was this: "Podcasting is not a race; it's a marathon."
Yes.
And and it's true because I'm running this race, and I'm not doing it alone. But it's that thing. You know what I mean? Like your music is that positivity.
Right. Exactly. And it isn't a race. And I didn't even get back into music or anything until 2018, and here I am. It's not even the end of 2024 yet, and really the music didn't even start till 2020 during COVID.
Hmm.
So, but it's taken, got back into something that I love to do at that point in my life, and I've been taking the punches ever since because it's a money grab business, especially when you come into it after successfully starting your own companies and stuff before that. You got a target on your back, but I'm going to win the game. It takes time, and you're winning the game.
Yeah,
So
and I have a target on my back just like you are, and that's a thing. And I
and some people are going to like your vibe, and some aren't, and that's fair. That's the way
yeah,
life is. I don't
it,
like everything.
it,
It's just fair.
like you said, it's fair. You know what I mean? Like your influences of music, who do you contribute your influence to music from?
Well, I went to a lot of shows when I was young, concerts, but I would say what encouraged me that I could do it because I'm not somebody who's got, you know, to go on The Voice or America's Got Talent or whatever, any of those shows. I'm
Hmm.
not some, you know, school trained singer, but I know I have a unique voice. So AC/DC, the way Bon Scott just came out with his voice the way it was. Van Halen, the way they just came out and did it their way, and played with all the other bands that weren't even like them to get going. Um, those kind of bands influenced me because it made me believe Red Hot Chili Peppers. They kind of had their own style, and they stuck to it, and they do it the way they're most comfortable. They stay in their lane, and they create their art the way they want to create it, whether you like it or not. So
Right.
those are probably some of my big influences because they weren't your traditional. Okay, here's the band, and here's the guy who can sing the same as all these other guys. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Or girls for that matter, and I'm just going to do it my way and grow it one fan at a time, and either like I said, you either like it or you don't, and that's fair.
And the good thing is I do like it, and I'll say that I think I'm not the best of judging character, but listening to the words, the music, hearing it says something for you, who you are. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't realize that. People listen to the sound because they love it. People listen to the singing, but you got to listen to the whole thing when it's all put together beautifully, like you have it done. And
Okay.
and a lot of respect because you know hard work pays off, like you said. Like here we are. I fell in love with radio when I was a teenager in high school. You know, but I was disencouraged by somebody back in that day saying you'll never make it. But here I am 30 some odd years later with my own little
Yeah.
show, and I'm like anybody else, they would say I'm kicking ass and taking names. And
Right.
some of my old high school buddies are leaving me notes like, I can't believe it, man. Unbelievable. We love the
Yeah.
show. And that's something that for me, that's a high for me.
Yeah. 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 I mean, my old high school buddies, I was a big loser because everybody thought I was because I figured out how to get C's and just get out of high school without having to do anything. But then I went on to college. I got my shit together as quit doing hard drugs at 20 and got my life together, got married at 22, had three beautiful boys that are all, I got to raise when they were young. And now they're all, my youngest just is going off to Montana State. So, you just have to live your dream. And I see friends now, they come to the concerts and they're just like, oh my God, I knew you'd do something. I knew you'd do something because I was very entrepreneurial, even
Yeah.
young, and always loved to work. And yeah, I get to do it. And I mean, my kids got to see their dad go from starting Starfire Oil Company to now he's a rock and roll front man in a band, and he does movies, and it's a trip, I'm sure, for everybody.
I, that would be a
But
trip for me.
you only live once, man, and I'm gonna do what I love to do for the rest of my life now, and let everything else run itself. So
Yeah, and that's one thing I have to give you credit. You know what I mean? Like, I know we talked right before we came on, and I know there was a movie that I liked watching, and you were in it, and it was Trading Paint with John Travolta. It's a it's an old school. I wouldn't call it old school, but it's if you love racing, you love NASCAR. It's the dirt track racing. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it was dirt track racing down at Talladega dirt track down in Alabama. And do you remember like what Toby was wearing in the movie? He had the Starfire logo on the back of his suit, on the red suit.
Yeah, the
That's
one red suit.
that's my oil brand. So they had we had done a deal to put Starfire in the movie to get exposure, and they were giving me a cameo to award the check to the winner. Just not a speaking line or anything.
Yeah,
So I show up down there and I'm there for a few hours. It's like 1 a.m. and they got to shoot this final scene and they realize they don't have a track announcer. And I'm walking around in that sport coat and my shirt. And I'm like, well, you know, let me be the track announcer. And they gave me the role of the track announcer. So then I'm learning my lines and planning the scene out with John Travolta, like within that hour. And then next thing you know, lights, camera, action. Here I am in a movie and joining SAG. Had to fill out all the paperwork,
right.
and that's when the light bulb went on. I like that. Maybe this is time to get back into my creative side that I suppressed to do all the things I just did the last 30 years. And on the way home that night, I was so grateful. I actually got paid a wage for it. I got became a SAG member. Now I'm in a movie. I didn't get cut from it. And on the way home, I was reading something on Fox and about this little girl over in England who had died from chewing on her hair, got a stomach infection. 16, poor family had died, and so I took what I knew I was getting from that movie, and I filled her GoFundMe for her funeral because I was so grateful for what happened. Because I really believe the more you give, the more you get, and the
Mm.
more you people that you don't even know is even better. Especially someone I never even donated anything to anybody overseas, but I felt so compelled because I was so fortunate. She was so unfortunate. I wanted to help that family. So that's how I do things, but that's exactly how I got back into this was working with your idol John Travolta, man. God, I was standing by him and Shania Twain, and
How was that? I mean, like,
I'm like, what is happening? And I'm
yeah,
talking to my and so now I'm like, oh my God, I just got into a movie. It was unbelievable. So, and then 2, 3 months later, we were doing the same thing, but they gave me a speaking role in Halloween, the 2018 Halloween with
oh,
Jamie Lee
nice.
Curtis. So I ended up being the teller. I had a line and got killed by Michael Myers. So that's when I decided I was going to do my own movies and stuff too. And that's where I came up with a movie I have coming out, Hellbilly Hollow, which is now with a sales agent that'll be coming out to theaters and streaming everywhere. So that all branched from those two chances of getting into those other two movies. So
That's still really cool, though. I mean, like, doing something different and doing something amazing, I mean, like, you have your own movie coming out, which is really cool. That has to be exciting enough.
oh yeah, and then I have another one, Scared to Death, that we is already shot. It's going to be coming out in theaters. I play a character called the Grog. There's the Grog right
The
there,
grog, I
and
love it.
with my Grog cup, I'm a horror icon. From all the years, DVD, all this horror icon that we
Mhm.
built called Gregory Grogstone. So I'm the Grog, and I star in it along with Lynn Shay from Insidious, and she was in Kingpin. Put the tongue
So
again,
yeah,
and
I remember
Bill,
that part very well.
the Devil's Rejects.
I've heard of it.
That, yeah, Bill Mosley from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Devil's Rejects. So Bill and Lynn and I star in this movie, Scared to Death. It's like a horror with a comedic edge to it. So I'm very proud of that too. So I've got 2 films coming out over the next year.
Oh wow, I'm excited for you, man. Just because I'm not a huge horror guy, but if you got a horror comedic edge to it, that's something I don't mind.
Okay.
And but I'll still watch it just because it's your stuff. I will
Yeah,
definitely.
Scared to Death is it's not neither one are slasher movies, if you will. And Hellbilly Hollow, I'm just a crazy, twisted character called Bull, and my brother's Tickles, and he can't talk, and he's real big and has the iconic kind of mask look. But we have a little fun at our little carnival and create a lot of carnage, but it's crazy, dude. So
That's got to be nuts. That's got to be.
yeah,
But that's exciting. Like you say, you're tapping into your creative side and you're
yeah,
doing something with the music too, which is huge.
yeah.
I mean, I
Oh, and
know COVID.
the music never would have started if it wasn't for John Travolta because then they wanted me to do some other acting down in Alabama, not him, but other people.
Mhm.
And I was going down there, and that's how I met Ben Trexel out of Birmingham, and he had these 3 songs. And I told him, let me show you what I can do with my voice. I haven't sang in a long time, but let me just try. And we just kept writing songs, and that's how I got my demo together that I took to California. That in 2020, Chris Lord Alge decided he would mix it for me and took me under his wing and discovered me. And none of this would have happened without that one magical night with John Travolta.
And that's the coolest thing. Like for me, it was a two-time Emmy Award winner, Christina Bear. She's a local celebrity here in New Jersey, where I'm from, and
Yeah,
to get her on my 4th episode, brand spanking new, no one knew who I was, and to get her on the 4th episode that quickly was like wow, all right, this is the right step. And I had no PR people. I have nobody. It's emailing, finding out people, try to find the right people, try to connect with people, and
Yeah,
and like you said, the hard work and the karma's coming to me now because I'll be
yeah,
honest with you, I've been so busy this summer, and it's just been an amazing ride to get guests like you, Kurt. You know what I mean? It's one of those amazing things that I never thought I'd have in my whole life. You know what I mean? Um, and
no,
and
it's great, man. I'm very
and
happy.
thank you, I appreciate it. And that's one thing, like I told my wife, I got to strike when the iron is still hot, and if people are looking forward to coming on, I got to do it. You know what I mean? It's
Right,
you know,
right.
even during vacation, I wasn't recording, but I was still making, seeing emails, checking emails, people contacting me. Hey, what's your availability like? Well, I'm on vacation, but I have my date book with me. Hold on, let me tell.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even know what vacation is. I haven't since like the 1990s. So,
Yeah, well, now I have two little ones, so vacation's kind of important. So if I take an hour
yeah,
doing this, just to
yeah,
do emails, read emails, and check emails, and then I have the rest of the day with them, they're not
right.
upset with me. You know what I mean? So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I used to go on vacation when in the night with my boys when they were little, and I had just started this com this company above my garage, my oil company, and I started it with very little money that I'd raised from buying and selling rental property because nobody's ever handed me anything. So I started this company when everybody, you can't start your own oil company, you can't do it, and I just learned it all by working for all the other corporations
Hmm.
that I hate, but I wanted to learn, and I knew I could sell, and we go what I meant by the vacation thing. We'd take the kids on a cruise or we'd go down to Disney and I'd spend half the time in a phone booth selling oil, because I just
Right.
had to work. It was just me. And then it just grew from there and just kept growing and growing and growing. And it's just one case at a time. And it's the same thing with this music. It's one fan at a time,
Hmm.
and you just have to find the people that dig what you're doing and just keep going because like I said, not everybody's going to like your oil. Not everybody's going to like your music. You just got to keep plugging away till you find your audience.
And that's one thing, I noticed again, you got a tour coming up in September, October, November coming up. And it's kind of funny. I saw one that's close to me, not that far, about a half an hour away from me, Newton, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to see if I can make that show to go see you. You know what I
Yeah. I
mean?
would love it, man. I'd
You
love
know,
it if you come out and we'll get you on the list and maybe we can even do another interview.
well,
That'd be great.
that would be awesome because it's funny. I was saying to myself, as I'm trying to grow my business now, this is like now my little business, and it's kind of funny. I bought something, and my wife thought I was crazy, but I said, "Don't think I'm crazy because you never know when I have to go do a live event." I bought this little number, so for my
Mhm.
phone, do live interviews, do live shows. Like, hey, here I am live, just seeing Kurt and his band, and here we are live for a few minutes. Give them a little
Yeah.
taste, things like
That'd be
that.
awesome.
And I'm trying to expand. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to accomplish something that I was told I would never do, and I'm doing it,
Right. And keep doing it.
and I'm gonna keep
And
doing it.
you'll
And
still
it,
have people that'll try to discourage you. You just got to keep doing it, man.
I'm gonna tell you though, who was my biggest fan besides my wife is my daughter.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And
And
my
my kid.
son's starting to learn. He's only 4. Well, he's turning
Yeah.
4 in a couple of weeks, but he's starting to understand like what I'm doing. And my
Right.
wife, if it wasn't for my wife, I wouldn't be doing what I do now.
Right.
And that's something I take much, much pride in,
Yes.
and like
No,
yourself, you worked yourself up to where you are today.
yeah, I pretty much, and of course, I mean, I had two little kids, and I said I'm going to quit my job at the salary, and I'm going to start this company. And I just said, look, if I fail, I'll sell cars, and I can make more than I'm making working for this company. And I wasn't encouraged by any way means, but sure turned out well for her. So
I'm still keeping my 7 to 5 right now,
yeah,
but
yeah,
if there's an opportunity, which I'm hoping soon there will be, you know what I mean? I keep hoping, I keep praying, but I'm shooting for the stars. You know what I mean? I'm putting my eggs
You have
all
to.
into this basket because I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not doing it for the glory. I do it because I love it.
Right. Yeah,
And
and that's why I do what I do. The music and the acting and everything right now, it's not easy to do at all. It takes money to make money, and I'd be better off, if I was worried about the money, just sitting at home doing nothing and not spending the money. But I've got to do what I have to do to accomplish my goal, and it's like putting money into it, like what you're doing now. You're putting money into a 401k, and it's
Mhm.
going way down. You just got to ignore it and then watch it go up later on in life.
and that's what I'm doing. It's kind of funny. I have anxiety from, ever since COVID happened, and my anxiety's been always high. And I talked to somebody about it. And she actually said, when you're starting a business, it's a 5-year plan. It's not a 2-year plan. It's a 5-year plan. After 5 years, you'll stand there saying, I did it, or you didn't do it. She
Hmm.
goes, the first 2 years is always the struggle. And I've been in it for a year and a half by myself. And I see the struggles. I have my good days and I have my bad days. But
Right.
anytime I get to interview somebody like you, or, I'm lucky enough, I actually got a drowning pool to come on the show.
I've toured with them.
So for me, I'm
Yeah.
like ecstatic. I go, drowning pool? You gotta be crapping me, because I never thought to the day. But then again, things happen for a reason.
Things.
People go, you could go, hey, do you understand how much I, enjoyed being on Alex's show? And, you talk to that PR person, I'm like, oh, all right, I'll make a note. And then boom, more come in, more come in, more come in. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I do this by word of mouth, or, hey, here's my list of people that have been on my show, but I'm gonna keep
Right.
working. I'm keep working my tail off. The other thing is I don't edit the show. Why? I want people to see who I am. I want.
Right. It's not as natural.
Yeah, it's not. I listen. I understand doing editing. I understand music, putting music in the show and all that, but that's not me. That's not who I am. I want people to see who we are. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's the thing. People take celebrities like, oh my God, they're never going to talk to you. Dude, they're normal people just like us.
Yeah. I tell my fans that every night. We played sold out show last night with Tesla, and
Wow.
I go out and I meet with all the fans after my set, and I take pictures, I sign cards for them, and sign their merch, and I go out on the smoking patio, hang out with them there, because why? I'm a human being. They're all human beings, and I preach togetherness and kindness and treating each other with respect and dignity. And that's truly who I am. And I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't do that. And even if, no matter how big we get, I'm still going to do that
Yeah.
because that's just who I am.
And you got to remember where you're from. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the thing. And that, like I told my wife, I go, listen, I would love to have her not work anymore. I would love to give everything. I give everything that my kids and wife want, no matter how much the struggle is. Um, you
Right.
know, to see their smiles, and to see that I know all the hard work I put into getting them what they need, and knowing that they're
Right.
happy, it makes me a millionaire without the money.
That's it.
And some people think I'm crazy when I say that, but I go, listen, it's the God honest truth, because
It
what I
is.
what like you even said, what you put out in return, you're gonna get back one day.
Yeah. More you give, the more you get, man.
And that's something
I,
I'm
and
learning more and more.
I'd rather give than get any day. I don't
Mm.
need anybody to get me anything. I just want to give, even just
And
my kid, everybody. It's like, what do you want for your birthday? I got you guys, well, I don't need anything else.
it's this,
I want to give you something for my birthday. What do you need?
you
So,
like my son's turning 4 in a couple of weeks, and he's a huge Paw Patrol guy, and I'm like, well, what do you want? What does my son need from Paw Patrol now? You know what I mean?
mhm,
And he showed me. I said, okay, you don't have it. Let's see what we can do. You know what I mean?
mhm.
It's a struggle, but I'm still going to go for it. I'm still going to get it for him. because I love them to
Yeah.
death. And and when it comes to my birthday, unfortunately, it's a week before Christmas, my birthday.
Uh,
So I'm December 17th. So kind of
yeah.
my Christmas and my birthday are too close to each other. So I get hurt a little bit. But, my wife goes, "Well, what do you want?" I go, "I don't want anything. I just want you
Right.
guys to be near me."
Yeah. Be happy. Yeah.
And I tell her every time, I'm like, "You want to give me a pair of new sunglasses? Great. You want to buy me a new hat? I'll love it. You want to buy me a new video game? I'll take it. You want to buy me a new watch? I'll happy with it." But it's not, like you said, it's not the materials, it's the affection they can get back from the family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And without them, you and I, who knows where we would be, either both of us, you know what I mean? Like it seems like your family's strong just like I am.
Oh yeah. I guess I've got three boys, and they've got, their mom is very good it's done a very good job with them on her side. We stayed married 22 years, but we were too opposite. I won't go into all that, but
No,
it
I
was,
understand.
and they've got three stepbrothers, or two stepbrothers and a stepsister, and a great stepmom. And it's just the family is very important, and they're all still real close. And then my mother's 87 now, and I got her up to Ohio. My grandmother died during COVID at
Mm.
106,
Wow.
but it's because nobody could visit her, which sucked.
No,
And then,
but still 106, man. That's a good life right there.
yeah, and I grew up in a family of four. My sister died at 45 of ovarian cancer. My
Oh,
dad died 3 years later. So that kind of was a bad decade. And then the 2010 to 20 was 13 and 16. But I went from being the dark horse in the family that was always get causing trouble to the rock of the family that everybody could count on. And my family is very important, and I just make sure everybody's taken care of and everybody's good. And then in return, they encourage me, they support me, and are my biggest fans for me to go out and do what I do and what I love to do, because I'm a very focused, hardworking guy, and they support that.
and that's something I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Even though we just met tonight, I even support that, man. And it feels like
Oh,
I could look up to you on that because you're 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 truly a amazing, first of all, dad,
oh,
husband,
thank
rocker.
no matter what happens, in your personal life, those kids didn't ask to come into the world. You brought them into the world with
Mm,
your wife. And no matter what circumstances surround you now or in your future, you own up to it and you take care of those souls that you brought into this world, and they should be the most important things to you. And that's just how I believe. And I can tell you do too. So,
I do. And if it wasn't for my wife, I don't know where I would be. And I lost my dad a long time ago. I was 21 when my dad passed, so I was just
yeah.
getting into that party stage. And I just turned 20. I was just turning 22 when he passed. So
Yeah.
it was at that point in my life, it was either put up or shut up, and I had to put up to help my mom and the family out because without my dad, he was the patriarch of the family. It was very difficult losing him at such a young age, you know what I mean? And then I got married 10 years ago. Hardest thing to see my mom walk down the aisle with my uncle, but it was the greatest thing. But I know my dad was looking down at us, and I know my dad still is to this day. So for me,
Mhm.
and my grandfather and my grandmother, you know what I mean? I don't ever want to say I don't forget them, but you know, to have only from now a family of two, with me it's three, to a nice big family now with my wife and her family, it just feels nice. You know,
Yeah.
it took me a long time to learn how to re-celebrate Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, stuff like that. It took me a long time because we didn't celebrate anymore because we just felt like, with all the family
Yeah.
kind of gone, it was difficult.
Yeah, it takes a little wind out of the sails, man. And I watched them both pass away. I was with them when they died, and they passed away in the same hospice 3 years apart. And I was with both of them when they died. So that kind of was probably fucked my brain up a little bit. But you got to honor their memory. I talked to them before every show. My sister was the big singer growing up. She was in
Mhm.
plays, she was in madrigals, all that stuff. Had the opera voice, and I just say, let's go kill it tonight. Here we go. I'm going to go do it the way I do it, and then I tell my grandma, put all the lyrics in my head because I'm not going to worry about it, and that's what I do before every show.
It's funny. Like you have yours, I have mine. Like I actually have. I imitated my father's wedding ring as to my wedding ring. So
Yeah.
my dad had yellow gold. I have white gold. So
Oh,
before my dad gave this to me the night before he passed, and he
oh,
said, "Yeah." So I always have it around me. So this necklace, you're really gonna have to pry it off my dead hands to take it away from me because
yeah,
it ain't
yeah,
happening. And
yeah. I wear his dog tags from when he was in the Air Force every show when I'm playing. So
and every show I just kiss the ring really quick, saying thanks, Dad.
yeah,
And I just, again, I always have an amazing show. I don't think I've ever had one boring show yet, and I don't intend to ever have one either. Um,
no,
and that's
no,
one thing I've learned. And having guys like you come in, and it's funny because the conversation we had is like we've known each other for like 13 years, and we just met tonight. You know what I mean? Like, and I got, it's just amazing to see who you are, Kurt. You know what I mean?
oh, yeah. You as well, man. It's very, very calm, very calming.
Oh
I'm a very
yeah,
chill person, and it was I was very happy that you wanted to have me on your show. So I really appreciate being here.
I listen, I appreciate, what you do and what you're doing and how you're doing it. You know what I mean? Like you said, nothing was given to you, neither was me. So
No,
the upbringing that you and I have are the same, even though we're different genres, a little bit different years, but the respect is there that I have for you tremendously. And your acting career, your movie career, and your singing career with the band. I mean, I you're like the triple threat. You know what I mean? I could call you a triple threat because you're successful
yeah.
in business, movies, and music.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, my company's my one. I own a blend plant up in where it's up near Lehigh Valley, up in Northampton, Pennsylvania, and then my other company's in Cincinnati, and those all run themselves. And I spent 20 years building those to what they are, and now
It's kind
they're
of funny. I'm
getting even.
about 2 hours away from Northampton and
Yeah,
Lehigh. I'm about 2 hours away from that area. So
yeah. That's called Pennstar, PENNSTAR, and we produce all our own Starfire stuff up there and do it for other people. But yeah, I never thought I'd get to all that when people told me I started above my garage, and now people told me I couldn't do this, and here I am on your show, and I just played for a sold out crowd in Kansas City last night with Tesla, and got more new fans. So we just got to keep grinding it out. When these movies come out, those are going to be tied together with the music. And once I can headline, I'll do even crazier stuff on stage. So I'm just having fun and living my life, man, and hopefully touching lives along the way, which I know I am because people come up to me and thank me, the veterans, the military, the first responders, the people that are broken in their own personal lives. I
mhm.
Some lady last night came up that had seen us before and said I was so encouraging to her the last time she saw us, and now she had a new person in her life thanks to me, and all. I was like, all right, well, that's why I do this shit. So,
And and that's the positivity, man. And
right.
I love it. I truly love it. And that's something you don't see a lot anymore. And that's why when I read, when I read with the profile, I'm just like, I gotta have him on the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just because I feel that your success, your positivity, and then the music, it's all there. And I respect that so tremendously that, you know, everyone listens to music, but you have to hear it. You have to hear the way you sing it, the way you
yeah,
play it. And that's when the enjoyment now for me, as I started learning that more myself in the past
yeah,
year and a half, I learned that just don't listen to it, you have to hear it. And any band that I get to meet or talk to the singer or the main person, I do truly mention that how I enjoy the music more now while I'm hearing it, not just listening to it, hearing it and
right,
hearing the
right.
words, listening to the passion that you guys have, anybody, yourself or anybody else. It it shows, and that's something I admire and I love very much from you guys. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
And
No, I really appreciate that. I write, to try to get things out of my brain. It's kind of my therapy, and it's what I believe. And hopefully it resonates. So, one song's lyrics might resonate with one person, another one might with another, but it's all about trying to get that message out there the way I do it. So,
and I think you do it the way that you know the best is definitely putting it down
yeah,
lyrics and spelting it out the best you can, man.
thank-
And I gotta say, I know you just had a show last night, sold out. Amazing stuff. Hopefully, you get your headliner soon. I'm pushing for you. I'm praying for you on that note.
keep pushing it. Everybody out there, keep sharing. Yeah, it's all about the shares and the follows and all the metrics all these people look at. But
Same here.
yeah, I mean, I'd love it if people would go just pretty much you just Google my name, KurtDeimer, Dimer. You'll find all kinds of stuff on me, and I'm on all the platforms under my name. Instagram is a big one I need people to follow on, and YouTube, subscribe to that, and Facebook, and I got a fan club on Facebook, and yeah, and just spread the word, KurtDeimer.com as well. And we have a double debut album coming out called And So It Begins, which will have 18 songs on it. It'll be coming out on vinyl, CD, and cassette. And
Nice.
hopefully it'll be out by the time I see you up in New Jersey. So
Well, I'll look forward to seeing you here. I'm definitely gonna make it
that'd be
out.
awesome.
Uh, you
Yeah,
know,
please.
definitely. I'll keep in touch with you, Kurt. I really appreciate everything you
Yeah,
coming on
please do.
tonight.
No,
Um,
we're friends. If you were here in the same town with me right now, you go out with me and have a drink. So
Without a doubt, and I would enjoy every minute just talking to you too. I feel
yeah.
that because you're like me. You're down to earth. You're legitly a true awesome person, and I'm loving what you're
Oh,
doing, man.
thank you so much, man.
Like I said, it's an amazing seeing how you've grown, Kurt. How you made your own business. How you had an epiphany with John Travolta to get your music going again, and dedicating what you're doing and helping other people, encouraging other people, spreading the positivity and the messages around, man. I love everything. And as you could see, living proof right here, folks. You
Oh,
put your mind to it, you could do anything.
you can do anything. Don't be discouraged by the haters. Don't be discouraged by people that tell you can't, because can't is not in my vocabulary. And just follow your dreams and do what you love to do. And most importantly, be kind to each other.
But
That's it's pretty simple, common sense stuff. So,
it is, and actually, and as we're ending and wrap up the show here tonight, like thank you again, Kurt, for coming on, taking the
oh, thank
time
you,
out.
Brad.
I know you got to get ready for your next tour coming up soon. Looking forward to seeing you in November. I'll definitely come out to visit you and see you that night.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
we'll be hitting the road with Yngwie Malmsteen for his 40th anniversary, and we're going back to a lot of towns that we were just in about a year and a half ago. So I'm excited to see how many people come out that are coming out to see us, and I thought that would be a good gauge. And we got some more shows with Tesla throughout the summer and Texas Hippie Coalition. So we got a busy schedule. Got film festival in August. I'll be down at as the Grog down at Popcorn Fest in Fort
nice.
Lauderdale. Just a lot going on, man. Just a lot. So
I know it's keeping you busy. So,
yeah,
like I said, Kurt, thank you so much. And like I always end my show, guys, keep pushing hard, keep your dreams alive. And how I always end it, it's nothing but love, peace, and happiness. Good night, everybody.
good night, everyone. Peace and love.